Alright. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, and the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life could be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on anyway. You just gave us a hint of what could have possibly killed him? The fuck? Did she just insulted Japan's like investigative team and also the men too? If we remember correctly, she did say like, "Oh, I thought, wow, in British or Britain, all the men are gentlemen over there." But then, wow, but insulted Japan's investigative team, but at the same time, kind of gave us a hint. So, that the most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. It's so marvelous. Bruh, easy does it. I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of yours unbecoming tongue. Just because it's a different language doesn't mean it's horrible. What the fuck do you mean? Forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone. Bruh, you have! No, not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. Bruh, she just insulted you, a man, and also the language. The fuck? You say, "Oh, I didn't mean to insult you." What do you mean? That was an insult. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. You're friends with the Minister of Justice? What the fuck? The Minister of Justice! May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen. Shut up. Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the invitation, Miss Brett, and put up the cross-examination now. Wait. We're still doing that? I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. Bruh! Hey, you say that while I'm sweating. What the hell? I'm sure I don't need to remind you, Counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I'll kill you myself. No, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Then I'll hit you with my hammer. Sure. Oh! That made it. That was so loud. Holy shit. Yes, Your Excellency. I like how I do want to point out that ever since I played this game, and ever since he kept on he will keep doing this, by the way, the slapping his face. I do that now too because of him. I got that nasty habit out of him, just whenever I need to lock into something. So, then you may proceed the cross-examination. Bam! Like I carry most of habits from characters, so. Alright. Unfortunately, I have no idea what the burnt is. When the burnt. Okay. Yes! We can press on that. Let's see. But his hand was on a searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You can't not have noticed. Do you think so? Let me ask you something. Sorry? Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours has been wide open. You can't You can't not have noticed, can you? Inspector Hasunaga was like, what? They were open? It's like, I could just imagine no one has noticed because no one looks down there, lady. Why are you looking down there? The fuck? Huh? What? No! My dignity! No! Even though he has no dignity. What fun. You hadn't realized? And then Inspector Hasunaga is like, wow. I noticed it too. Like, yeah, right. You were shocked as well. The dear lady's absolutely right. As your friend, you embarrass me as well as yourself, Ryunosuke. You know, as my friend, Kazuma, I would expect my friend to tell me that my fly's down. Don't even. Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He always zips up, never down. He chose honorable silence over the vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh my god, this cold won't let go of me. Holy shit. Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. Wait. Huh. Well, I can't. Anyway. Can't believe that was part of the thing. That's why I like pressing on everything too. Even though it's like some of them it's not worthwhile, it has funny dialogue, so yes. We have to say about this one. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. I remember because she embarrassed me about it, but good thing you did, that way I can embarrass you now. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter? Exactly as you say, sir. Although... Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak out to the table. I'm afraid I don't remember that. Damn you. Ah! I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means bless you! No, he just said damn you. I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway, with the... Alright. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem reports show no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. Yes! Okay. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage, I can't say that, from ballistic trauma. Yes? Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. I wish it killed me though. I'm just kidding. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death. It can only have been the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life. But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make the burn like that. And if the victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point. And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. I concur. Prosecutor Alchi's right. Anyway, it's just like, anyway, and next one. Without leaving a trace. If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. As our police force is thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hasunaga? As I've said before, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be a physical traces with all those causes of death. That's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. If heaven forbid you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Oh, I don't know. Heart attack. Heart attack. In the middle of the table, what the hell? A poison. Other things. A blow dart. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it? Oh no, perish the thought. Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. Oh, on my honor, I, Takasuchi Ouchie, will cut down any who dare to cast such aspirations. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Do we have any evidence though? Other than the cup, nothing really much we can show. I mean, this one is still full. Yeah, nothing really much. Okay, I guess we need to continue pressing.
Yes.
Inferior. What do you mean by that? In lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate it once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? What bullshit is this? What the fuck? Quite right. Quite right. Quite right. La Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction. What the fuck was that? Vital evidence may be lost. The fuck was that, my guy? Does it even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene? I feel like this guy has preserved something. I'm trying to be tactful about this as I can. You understand? A killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. He's like, nothing to see here. What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony or the cross-examination will be over. But what that would mean, I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Kazuma. What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. It's the waiter. No, I'm just kidding. The inspector. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Hazunaga. He looked up, he's like, oh, you called me? Mm-hmm. You need something? The detective. Yes. He seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright. I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time instead of targeting the woman herself. Let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. But once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again. Anyways, this is a new mechanic to the game. I actually really do like it. Not to the game, I mean to the series. In the other series, you can't really do this, but in this series, I'm glad that they added, because when there's two people on the stand. Alright, we already got over this. Talk, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I think it's this one.
Wait.
Yeah, now that she does that, right there. Starts coughing, right? Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in a stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. With what marker? Like what? At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with the D-pad, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at our other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with X, alright? If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then. So first I should just move the markers, whatever, and focus on the detective. Then pursue with him with the X button, whatever that is. It's probably my... So what X button? Probably the name of my ex, I don't know. And see what's on his mind. Press that button so I can know what other person's mind I have here. Shut up, Ricky. Here we go. Exactly, which means the investigative team, blah, blah, blah. And then, alright. I'm doing it! It's not letting me... Okay, about time. Holy shit. Apparently he needs to cough up all the blood first in order for me to switch around. But yeah, this is new to the game. To the series in general. Because normally we don't testify people two at a time. Or multiple at a time. It's only once. So now since we have two people on the stand, we can actually do this. And I think it's gonna stay. That's gonna stay like this until the end of the game. So I really like this new function, and another function that they'll add later as we progress through the game. So let's press on him.
Excuse me.
Yeah! What the? What is that? He got so scared. I found that funny. He got scared. It was like, excuse me. Ah! What's the meaning of this? He starts coughing like me. By the way, I'm coughing because I am coughing. Not because I was trying to cough like him or something like that. No, I'm actually still sick. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court.
Objection!
What's the meaning of this? He's not on trial. It's the delightful English woman who's testifying at that moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Henry investigated the Cosmo. Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yeah! Not to mention that the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonoka? Yes. Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Let me wipe my blood. Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. She's like, oh, really? What do you have to say, The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hazunaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime and preserving evidence, you see. Isn't that still legal? Illegal? Like, taking evidence to yourself and not to the police? And you're keeping it for yourself, right? I don't care if you call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Of what I've done. It was so cringe that he started coughing. A crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Ooh. Is that? This is a bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day, our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming. I guarantee it. And he still coughs. Right? I want to know his backstory. Why does he bleed? Why does he cough a lot? Is he sick or something like that? Or is he just like, I don't know, suffering from an injury? I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. I did the same one day back in college. The court will accept a glass bottle as water as evidence. Alright. Carbonated water the victim Miss Brett shared on the day of the murder. It was on the victim's table. Miss Brett? Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, counsel. You may resume the cross-examination. And then the inspector would kindly control his fervor. He got so scared of us, like, oh, he's like, oh shit! He started coughing. He goes off guard. That was funny. All right, where's the bottle cap? The fuck? All right, look at the water. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. It looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a little sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke, bad boy! You can't do that! For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drink evidence. Oh no, you're right. we don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke, in more ways than one. Imagine if he wasn't here. Imagine if he wasn't here. What would happen if he's like, he did drink that? Like, come on. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You got quite quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Interesting. Let's present that again. Let's see the label. What kind of water is this? The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be a very expensive water. Wow, they got water from French? They're like, I'm so thirsty. You know what I want? Water from France. Meanwhile, I'm drinking my water from the sink. Actually, it's Costco brand water, but I just call it water from the sink. Because this is what I think where they got it from, honestly. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. He's like, why are you asking me? I don't know. That's it. Honestly, I'm like Kazuma, by the way. No, I'm not like he's me or whatever. No, that total reaction is so valid because I don't understand why people expect me to know some things too. Like, do you know what to say? No. Why would I? Like, are you sure? Like, what does it say? What do you think it says? Go ask the people who made it. I don't know. Like, seriously, I hate people who think that just because they ask a third time, maybe they're gonna be like, oh, I know what it is now. Oh my god. But yeah. Anyways, a possible way.
Yes.
Fuck! This is what happens when you get something wrong. The statement contradicts the facts as demonstrated by this evidence. As far as I can tell, there's nothing untoward about his evidence. But that... Pull yourself together. You look as though your eyes are about to pop out of your head. Oh well, we lost one. It's alright, we still have 4 more. So every time you get something wrong, you get penalized. Penalized, or whatever they say it. You get a penalty. And in total, we have 5. Consider it as your health bar. And once once all of those are gone, game over. You be found guilty. So make sure to be careful on that. Okay, I think it was this one right here.
Yes.
Yeah, it was right here. I did it early. What's this? The bottle of water. Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison! On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? He's like, what? He's cooking right now, holy shit. Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order, order, order! And on that day, who was sitting on the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only person who could what? Should it be there's only one person who could possibly have done it? It was the waiter. I mean, Giselle Brett, it was you.
Objection!
This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered that this delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even have the vaguest oh my gosh, shut the fuck up! That your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty! Cosmo, tell him. There's no political arena This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. What? The fact this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. If I may, I will silence you forever. Finally! It is you who should be silent. Of course! Dear lady! Oh my god. Where did that come from? She just snapped. Oh, thank god. Even though I am like against her right now and she's like our enemy or whatever. But thank you for shutting him up. Jesus Christ. You are a true woman. A woman that tells people to shut up. Tells a man to shut up. How the English have evolved over the time. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? She just told the guy to shut up! What do you mean? What are you referring to? I described your police force as inferior. But no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated the particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. Wait, why was he so shocked? Wait, why was he so shocked when we said it was poison? He's like, what? Like, and then he's like, oh wait, I remember. It doesn't have poison. Never mind. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. You actually do stuff. Holy shit. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And, well, what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No! Why so dramatic? Holy shit. He's like, ah! Buzz! I'm grateful to all your Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. Shut the fuck up. You did not do anything for this in this matter. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, Consul. I think the cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have as asserted, a shot of the chest from the gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding the weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for! The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this have caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further evidence to present the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Hirosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. Come on! There's something. Holy shit! Who's that? Please wait. Isn't that? Ooh. By the way, I know I'm already saying too much, but my favorite character has been introduced, so I'm excited. What is the meaning of this? Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency.
Susato Mikotoba, judicial assistant to the defense.
Mikotoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package, wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. I can't wait! My favorite character's here, finally! Oh, and we're done with the second part. Holy shit. But I think that's gonna be it for now. I'm gonna call it a break, but thank you so much for watching, and then until I see you later, we're gonna go on with the third part. So see you guys then.